Hi everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing well. So today I'm going to talk about one of the most underappreciated parts of an aspirant's life, and this underappreciated part of an aspirant's life is nothing but routine, a consistent and well planned routine which if you follow day by day, of course with a little bit of hiccups, with a little bit of you know blocks along the way, with sometimes you're not following it, but mostly 90% of the time. And I say this because of my personal experience, because I feel one thing that definitely worked in my favor was that I was able to build a very good routine, a very good consistent routine that I would follow from morning till night every day, and eventually I came out victorious on the other side by actually finding my name in the page of the holy PDF that comes out last. So I will now dive into my experience. I will tell you things that you can follow from this routine. Obviously you are free to kind of come up with your own routine. A lot of aspirants have different cycles, different ways to manage their time, so you can obviously tweak it, change it, learn from it. But overall the idea is that if you learn from this uh, planning of my routine, if you learn from how disciplined I was during maintaining this routine, then you can implement it in your daily life, even if you are not an aspirant, to enhance your preparation. And this will also work for a lot of aspirants. I will also tell about those aspirants who are working and trying to appear for UPSC, because for them it is all about time management, nothing else. All right. So UPSC is a battle of time management more than anything else. So what we need to do is, if we have 1 year of preparation time, we have 2 years or 3 years, whatever time we have to make sure that we have to utilize each and every second of it wherever possible, in order to justify and in order to really prepare hard and well for our UPSC exam. So first thing I want to tell you from my own personal experience is that I obviously did not start with a perfect routine. For long time, for 6-7 months, I was daily adjusting my routine, daily having problems, daily not being able to get a lot of output, and a lot of times also struggling because I was not even sure what to study. In the first 3-4 months of my UPSC preparation, I was struggling by myself and I was trying to figure it out by myself. And even if you are a coaching center student who is studying at a coaching institute, yes, they give you a schedule, but even then you face a lot of this struggle because you are not sure exactly how to prepare, where to prepare from, how to manage your time, how to take out time in order to be able to revise and do your own practice, right? So the way you have to do it is, instead of actually making hour by hour timetable, I have recommended this before also, I think what you should do is that you should make a phase wise timetable. You should divide your entire day into 4 or 5 phases, and then you should follow these phases in order to be able to achieve that day's routine output, or routine be able to achieve the routine that you want to have every day. What should be the overall view of this routine? What should be the overall principle driving this routine? It should be simple as that whatever I have set out to do this month, I should be able to achieve this month. Let's say I have set out to finish Lakshmikant, do current affairs of this month, and do a little bit of writing practice. Then you should be able to achieve that goal at the end of the month, and also see improvement in that particular period of time. All right. That should be the overall way you should be thinking about your routine, that okay, my exam is 1.5 years from now, this is what I have to achieve, and according to that I will make my daily routine. So when it comes to the exact days, individual days, what matters is how you utilize your downtime instead of your high time, because high time anyway you are going to do well, you are going to utilize it really well because you have energy, you have focus. But when you are down, when you are not feeling like doing it, how do you utilize that time is going to matter a lot. So the first thing I would do is, I would divide my day into 4-5 phases, and within those 4-5 phases I would know overall what I have to achieve. So my day's first phase would begin at 6:30 in the morning. I would wake up at 6:30, maximum to maximum I would wake up at 6:45 to 7 a.m. and then my day would start. I would freshen up, etc. And this first phase will go on till around 11 a.m. From around 6:30, 7 a.m. till 11 a.m. this 4.5 hours is my phase 1 of the day. And in this phase 1 of the day, what I had to do was, I knew this was the most productive day and during this time I knew this is the most productive time of my day. So I had to utilize this because my brain is fresh, I have just woken up, I can really focus a lot. Now a lot of students are going to say I have a lot of focus in the night time. But see, honestly, there is no point of waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m. and studying. It is very odd. Yes, you might think there are not no distractions, but that really depends on your own personal focus. You can still wake up at 7 a.m. and still find a lot of focus in the morning hours. See, what happens when you start waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. is it's not your natural cycle. You are supposed to, your body responds to light. Your body responds to sunlight. You are not supposed to wake up at 2 a.m. and do your studies. You are not supposed to be awake in the night hours and be doing anything, right? Your natural cycle is to actually sleep at that time and be awake during the daytime. So my recommendation to all of you is that you wake up in the morning at 6, 6:30, 5:30, whatever suits you, maybe 7 a.m. but don't go as late as 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Try to wake up as early as possible, and then the first phase of the day should be the most productive phase of your entire day. During that time, spend minimum time on other activities like eating, like your daily chores. Don't spend your time on unproductive activities like even reading newspaper. I would not suggest reading newspaper the first thing in the day, because it's the most productive time and you want to focus on things that are tough to learn. Newspaper is easy to read and you can read it during later in the day. So what I would do is I would wake up at 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., freshen up within 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, change quickly, just put on some cleaner clothes, and then I would sit down to study. I would not even have breakfast. I would just drink water, maybe have a glass of milk to fill myself up, not to feel hungry, maybe have a banana or something, and just straight away sit down to study. And then I would study non-stop till 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. And I know in those 4 hours, I am going to achieve the daily target of reading. I am going to achieve the daily target of understanding things I am not understanding. So during this time, I would finish Lakshmikant chapters. I would finish difficult chapters from environment or ecology. I would finish difficult chapters from optional if I was studying optional. I would even sit down this time and just look over difficult things that I had studied previously in the previous 3-4 days before, so that I am revising that and I am always going back and remembering that, because you don't want to forget things you have studied a few days back. So I would revise, take out 30 minutes, 1 hour from the time and just revise it quickly, so that I am refreshing everything in my mind. And that is how I will spend the phase 1 of my studies. I was not a coffee person. I would not be having coffee. I was not a person who would go and talk with my parents or with my brothers, or I would not go for a walk in the morning time. I was very sure I was going to sit and study and utilize this time to do the most difficult things I was not able to understand, or revise certain things that I had to revise that day. The phase 1 is over. Now it's almost 11:30, 12, around that time, and of course I would be feeling hungry, so I would have an early lunch. I would have lunch around 12 p.m. I would take 30 minutes break or so, have a lunch, and overall 1 hour break from 11:30 to 12:30, so that I am able to have my lunch. And during this time again, I would minimize my screen time. I would not go online and look for random things. In fact, even during lunch, what I would do is maybe I can look on Insight's website, or I would look on Vision IAS website to see if any new material on current affairs has come when I am having lunch. Alright, or if I am really tired and if I want to really take a break, maybe I will look at a episode of Friends or something, because that time that's what I used to watch sometimes. Alright, so that way I would spend that afternoon time. But I personally recommend to you, even during the lunch time, try to use it to do some online search. Maybe you can watch a video from my channel, or you can watch another video that you like, because you should be even passively learning at this time, indirectly, things that you want to inculcate, things that you want to cover. Okay, you should be so obsessed about this exam, so much junoon should be there in your mind about this exam. Okay, so once your lunch is finished, I will come back and I will right away dive into the study. So this time you are likely to feel sleepy, but you have to fight that. Now this is where the phase 2 comes, where you have to really fight against that little bit of laziness that is going to start building during the afternoon, especially in the winter, in the summer's time when it is very hot. So I want you to sit down from 2 to 5, around 12:31 to 5 o'clock, and spend this second phase of the day. And during this second phase of the day, to fight your laziness, to fight this kind of inertia that is coming, you are not able to study, what you could do is you can start with doing some practice questions. You can open NCRT back questions, you can do them. You can open previous year questions of UPSC from their website, you can do them. You can even kind of spend other things like you can do them. You can even spend your time testing yourself from Lakshmikant or from any other book where test questions are given at the end of the text, or you can do summaries. Whatever notes you have made, you can do that, but apply your mind here in more practicing, in more doing things, because this 1-2 hours is critical. If you beat your sleep in this 1-2 hours from 12:30 to 2 o'clock or 2:30, then you have rest of the days clear. So I would do that, and after that I would get back to studies, whatever I have to study, because obviously you can't practice for 4-5 hours in a day every day. So only for 1-1.5 hours I'll do that. I will go to Wikipedia, read about certain topics that I'm studying. Like I told you, I will do Google search, I will do Google Scholar search. So all these things I would do, and then I would finish off my phase 2 at around 5 p.m. and after that it is time for me to take break, and I would remind myself, oh, I have a break at 5 p.m. so that way my mind would get motivated to actually think about the break and be excited about the break. All right. So at 5 p.m. I would take the break. I would it is a little early to go for a walk because it might be hot in summers. So depending on that, maybe I will take the break at 6, but I will take a break of about a couple of hours and I will go for a walk, long walk. But even during this long walk, I am passively exercising my mind to a lot of times revise whatever I have studied, because now I am not able to see what I have studied. So I can remind the keywords, I can just recall them in my mind and be able to kind of learn from that also. All right. So during the third phase of this rest period, you can passively train your mind to think about the exam and to strategize, because it should be definitely there in your mind. But definitely 1 or 1.5 hours you can take off, you can talk on the phone, you can discuss something with your friends who are appearing for UPSC exam. No chai sutta kind of a break, a lot of students do that in old Rajendra Nagar, but I recommend you don't do that. Try to stay away from smoking, try to stay away from unhealthy things, try to utilize your time, go to a park. There are parks near old Rajendra Nagar or Karol Bagh, go and walk in them, or go and talk with your friends, go out, but go outside the house. That is very, very important. Walk around, that will really help you. All right. So after that, from around 5 p.m. to 7 p.m, after you have finished your this walk, your break, but passively you are still studying, from 7 p.m, 7:30 p.m, I would have early dinner. So again I am extending my break, and this would be the phase 4 of my day. When I am having my dinner, I am relaxing my mind, I am not really thinking much about anything else, and from 7:30 to around 8 o'clock this will go on. And then finally in the last phase, in the night, this is the most crucial phase, in the sense that now you feel like actually not doing anything after taking the breaks, but you have to go back, you have to get up and go back to your routine again. And during this time, what I would do is, I would again go back to the studies and finish off whatever I had targeted for the day, whatever goal I had, finish that off today and try to do something extra at the end of the day. So when you are, let's say, around, I would sleep at around 10:30, 11, maybe 11:30. So I would have full 7-8 hours sleep. But during this 3-4 hours, I would also dedicate 1 or 2 hours to revising, recalling and to studying again what I had studied the entire day, and also again studying at least 1 hour, giving extra to what I have to study tomorrow. See, whenever you prepare whatever is there tomorrow, today itself for that particular thing, next day you will find it much easier to finish it, and you will be a step ahead. You will be already starting a step ahead. So I recommend to all of you that at least the last 1 hour or something you should spend planning for what you have to do the next day and study a little bit. Let's say tomorrow you are planning to study a particular chapter from geography book or physical geography book NCERT, then study some of the chapter in advance today itself. Look at the summary, look at the various points, main subheadings, do some Google search on it, and then move on to the next day. Because next day then you will find it much easier to study that particular chapter. So this way my entire routine of the day, day in and day out, I made this routine, follow those routine. Of course, alongside I would do a lot of Google search, I would use a lot of some blogs, some basic blogs, PRS, etc. to study whenever I am studying those subjects. I would obviously take breaks to watch a movie or something on Saturdays or something, Sundays sometimes. And I also suggest that you talk to your friends, because that way you are on top of your preparation and you get some mind off the things. Now for working professionals, you can't obviously maintain this entire routine. So for you, I would suggest to you that what you should do is, the whole battle is of time management. So you should focus on 20-30% of the subjects that are the most important. You should spend a lot of time on those subjects whenever you are getting, and take out at least 2 to 3 hours per day outside of work. And I would say use mornings. If your morning work starts at 9:30, you have to leave by 8:30, then try to give time from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. to study these 2 hours in the morning, if you study at working professionals, you will be way ahead of a lot of aspirants because you are truly putting in the hard work. Alright, so this is the overall routine that I wanted to tell about. I think this routine really works for a lot of people. You could try this phase by phase routine in your life, and I hope that will help you in your UPSC preparation. Thanks, have a good day, and see you next. Bye.